నమస్తే, వెల్కమ్ టు స్పెషల్ డిస్కషన్. నేను సీతారామరాజు. ఒక రాష్ట్రంలోనూ ఒక దేశంలోనూ కాదు, యావత్ ప్రపంచంలో ఇప్పుడు ఒకే పోరాటం నడుస్తోంది. కరోనా ఉపద్రవాన్ని ఎదుర్కొనే మహాయుద్ధం ఉధృతంగా కొనసాగుతోంది. చికిత్స లేని మహమ్మారిని అంతం చేయడమే లక్ష్యంగా యావత్ మానవాళి సమిష్టిగా మహాయుద్ధం జరుపుతోంది. ఇంతకీ కరోనా వైరస్ను కూకటి వేళ్లతో పికిలించాలంటే ఇంకా ఏం చేయాలి? ఈ సంగ్రామం ముగియడానికి ఇంకా ఎంత సమయం పడుతుంది? ప్రపంచవ్యాప్తంగా సాగుతున్న పరిశోధనలు ఏం చెబుతున్నాయి? ఇలాంటి అనేక అంశాలపై మనతో మాట్లాడడానికి ఈ రంగానికి చెందిన ప్రముఖ నిపుణులు, అలాగే రచయిత, సోషల్ యాక్టివిస్ట్ చందన చక్రవర్తి గారు మనతో పాటు ఉన్నారు. మేడం నమస్తే.
Namaste.
Madam, thank you very much for joining us. First of all, let me start by asking you, where does India stand now in the fight against a deadly coronavirus when the countries like United States of America and Italy are terribly failing? Where does India stand now, ma'am?
Well, India is standing at a precipice, and we don't know whether we will fall or we will hang on to the cliff. It is really a cliffhanger at the moment, but so far our numbers are far better than the rest of the world. We need to do a lot to contain it. And we have one advantage, which is we started late. So we have, in hindsight, we have the lessons that the rest of the world faced and to learn from there. So much depends on what we do now. But I think our problem is worse in some ways because poverty is a bigger problem for us. And that is making things even more difficult for us.
Yes, after the special request from our Chief Minister KCR Garu, Prime Minister agreed to allow CCMB for corona tests. We have seen that. How CCMB is going to help in our fight against this deadly coronavirus, ma'am?
Well, I must tell you, I'm not working with CCMB anymore. CCMB has very good facilities, and I think what they can do very well is to train people, as many people as possible, in testing, in conducting tests. And as far as I know, CCMB has been doing that.
Yes, we have seen, ma'am, we have seen a lot of viruses in the last 2 decades or so, such as Ebola, SARS and MERS. But what makes this novel coronavirus so different and so serious? Why this has become a pandemic, according to you?
Well, one thing good is the percentage of fatality of corona is low, 2%. But then the way it spreads is much more than anything else because, it can aerosolize, it can go through droplets if somebody sneezes or coughs. And so the way it spreads is so much more than anything else that's why it makes it so much more difficult to handle. And especially in countries which have very, very high density like India has.
Yes, have anyone...
Secondly, I think we must also remember that it's a novel virus, it's not known.
Yes, ma'am. Have anyone or even scientists across the world ever expected that we need to fight
so therefore we don't
such a virus any day, ma'am?
Well, if you notice, the film Contagion was made, was it in 2006? And if you watch that movie, everything to the T is playing out like it was shown in the film. So scientists have predicted pandemics, but in what form it will come, what will the virus be, what needs to be done, that's difficult to say.
Yes, ma'am. The rate of spreading of the infection actually is enormous actually. And the mortality rate seems to be very high in United States and countries like Italy and Europe. Many countries like France and Spain are also facing a lot of problem. Is there any specific reason why this virus is spreading faster in countries like United States?
Well, look, I'm not the right person to answer this, but as a general knowledge, I think immunity has to do something to do with this. And if you've read a report that has come out recently from an Indian scientist somewhere in the United States, that it is possible that something that may have helped India is early vaccination through BCG. And the early reports of data about countries where universal vaccination has happened of BCG, those countries are showing lesser numbers. So we don't know. This is still early. It has to be still proven, but the answer could be there.
Yes, we have to see
The
what
answer
exactly
could
has
also
happened.
be in the fact that we have a stronger immune system.
Yes, ma'am, we have to actually see what exactly is making things worse
Because
in
we
United
are,
States of
exposed
America.
to so many germs. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Do you think social distancing is the only solution before the mankind right now to fight this menace?
At the moment, social distancing is an absolutely important step. Absolutely important step, and so that we stop, spread of the disease. That's that's a no-brainer, and everyone's been talking about that. And basic hygiene is extremely important. Taking all the preventive measures is important because we don't have the cure at the moment.
Yes, ma'am, we are a country with 1
But
billion
besides this,
population.
what's also important is how we manage this.
Yes, ma'am. Please go ahead, please.
True. Yes. Population is a problem, and the problem is also that 70% of our people are poor. They live in extremely dense, situations. Now, if you look at a slum like Dharavi in Bombay, and they have, so Dharavi as a area is very, very large, but smaller Dharavis exist all across the country. Even in Telangana, you have smaller Dharavis. Now, how do you do social distancing there? You have a little room of maybe 8 by 8 where 5 people live. So, and the next door is just one wall across. So these are our special problems.
Yes, we are already into 3 months into the virus right now, since the time it started in Wuhan in China. Are the people of this country enough educated, and is the awareness enough right now, or lot more need to be done in the coming days?
You know, the only statement about India that is true is no statement about India is either true or false. For any statement you make about India, exact opposite is also true. So you have an aware population, but you also have teeming masses that are unaware, or that they will not take you seriously, or they are so religious that they think that if you take the name of Ram or Allah or any other god and you go out in a group and dance together, nobody can do anything to you, not even coronavirus. So we have all kinds of people, and in very, very large numbers.
Yes, especially regarding the research, a lot of research is going across the world. Hundreds and thousands of scientists are working day in and day out to find a solution. How much time may it take to find a solution, ma'am, according to you?
So from everything that I have read that experts have written about the virus, some headway has been made, but even if that headway, the discovery, the breakthrough has been made, it will take close to a year for these vaccines to come out. So even if you are optimistic and you reduce that time, let's to a half, it's still 6 months away.
Yes.
And in that 6 months, we have to control the spread.
Yes,
we have to also protect people who are fighting this from the front, which is the healthcare providers, doctors, nurses, paramedics.
Yes, ma'am. One more important question regarding we have been seeing so many survivors of this coronavirus also. On the one side, they are affected persons, but even the survivors are coming out with this coronavirus. How can we do experiments on them, and how can these survivors give the answers to the many questions which the coronavirus is posting to the mankind?
Well, I think one of the things that people know is that, you know, you can't have comorbid situations like hypertension, heart trouble, diabetes, etc. That makes you more susceptible. If your immunity is strong, if you're somebody who has had good nutrition, etc., then you can come out of it easily. The world over, the death rate is 2%, which means 8 out of 10 people will survive. That's the good news. But the point is that wherever, even in the West, where the death toll has been high, it's because the healthcare, infrastructure has not been sufficient.
Yes.
Wherever healthcare intervention, medical intervention has come at the right time, people have got ventilators, they've been able to take care of them, people have come out of it. But if that doesn't happen, then I'm afraid it's going to be difficult.
Yes. Nobody expected, ma'am, that total country will be
Also,
shut
I
down.
think age matters, older
Yeah.
people.
Yes, ma'am, please carry on.
You know, we need to be quick to learn. We need to be quick to learn. We had 2 months headway when all of this was happening across the world, and we were seeing it, and scientists and doctors were saying, hey, listen, it's going to come into our country as well. There were many important steps that could have been taken in this country, which were unfortunately not taken. We started taking steps much later, and even there we floundered. We floundered with our announcements, we floundered with the way the whole lockdown was, announced, without any preparation. When you announce a lockdown, the first thing people will do is, oh my God, how am I going to survive? My kitchen is empty, I need things, so everyone will go out, run out.
Yes, regarding our state, ma'am.
And secondly,
yes.
India is a vast country with all kinds of people with all kinds of problems.
Yes. Regarding our
So
state.
if you know that you have migrant laborers, if you know people are going to lose their jobs, daily wage. And daily wagers who will not be able to get their money to pay for their food and their shelter, etc., they're going to run home. We could have made those arrangements. So we had these 2 months advantage, but we did not use it properly. What about healthcare workers? If you don't give them PPE, how are they going to work?
Okay. Regarding our state, there are a lot of steps that have been taken by the administration, especially for the migrant laborers who came across from various states to our state. They are working in various projects like Kaleshwaram and all. The state government has announced, Chief Minister KCR Garu specially announced that they are our development partners. Definitely we will take care about them. How do you see all these measures from the government?
Well, I see it. I saw that announcement by the Chief Minister, and I think it was very, very reassuring. It is always very reassuring when the Chief Minister himself comes out and sends out a message to migrant workers, to people very, very economically marginalized, that listen, we are here to protect you, we are here to feed you, we are here to take care of you, and you don't have to panic, you don't have to run home. And I think that's gone a long way in giving that assurance to people, and therefore you don't see the kind of scenes here which we have been seeing at the Delhi-Uttar Pradesh border and many other places in the country. So that's a very important step.
Yes, when compared to the West, the infection rate and the mortality rate in India is very low. What might be the reason? Is it because of the immunity levels of our Indians?
One simple reason is that we are not doing enough testing. How many testings are we doing? We are not doing enough tests. How many tests?
Okay.
So, and if you look at the death rate, for example, we've said some 2,000 people are infected, and 50 people died. But the worldwide average is only 2%, so the math doesn't work out.
Okay.
So it's quite possible that there are a lot more affected. We haven't gotten to see them because we don't do enough tests. We don't have test kits. Secondly, the test kits are unaffordable, inaccessible, unaffordable. So a lot of people don't want to get tested.
Yes, one big question before every family is that how to spend time.
But I
that
think
is
the
a very
good
big
side
question.
is our numbers really are not.
Yes, ma'am. Everyone faces the same question, same problem.
Well,
How
I'll just go
to
back to
spend
the
this
previous,
valuable time with their
question
family
one.
and all? What is your suggestion to
Yeah.
spend this time? How can they take care about their family
That's right.
in this tough time?
And unfortunately what I will be speaking about this is only for the privileged who have a home, have shelter, have food, and have internet connection and television. So what I say will not be an answer to everyone, okay? So what you can do during this period is to learn something new. There are lots of online classes, there are books. People who have difficulty reading for a long time, they have problem with their eyes, they can download an app called Audible on their phone, and it's a very small subscription. You can listen to books.
Yes,
so you don't have to read.
Right.
So there are books, there's music, there are online classes. You can learn how to paint, you can learn how to sketch, and people are doing all kinds of innovative things on the telephone. For example, I used to go for yoga classes, everything stopped. So I'm taking yoga classes online.
Okay.
People go walking. Now you can't go out walking, but you can turn on the television and walk with a class. Spot walking, just as good. And you can count how many calories you are spending. So exercise, music, television, movies.
Yes, ma'am.
Anything to make your brain work is important, and most important, I think, is to remain positive.
Yes, elderly persons, regarding elderly persons, they are more vulnerable to coronavirus. What need to be, what type of need is there for them? How careful they should be?
Hygiene, social distancing, positive mind frame, and keeping themselves occupied. Fifth, taking all their medicines regularly, and sixth, a certain amount of exercise, even if it is 20 minutes of walking in the morning, slow walk, and 20 minutes in the evening, that should do.
Yes, before we conclude, one last question, ma'am. It is said that the coming 2 weeks are more crucial and more essential and very important. What need to be done? What are your suggestions? What more can be done at this point of time?
Most importantly, we need more masks and PPEs for the health workers. They are in the front. If we lose them, then we have nobody else fighting for us. We need to protect them. No matter what we do, we need to keep them in working condition, give them all the encouragement as possible. It is extremely disheartening to hear how tenants have been treating their doctors living there. This is unacceptable.
Yes, sir.
Number two, we must make sure the poor get enough food to eat.
Yes, please carry on.
Number three, essential items must reach people. And four, life hasn't stopped. Life will go on as it is. So there will be births, there will be deaths, normal births, normal deaths, as any time in normal times, every minute. Now, how are those people going to, take care of everything that comes with every death and every birth? So these essential things of life, at the basic level that life must go on, I think we need to make those arrangements. It's a difficult time, I understand, but it's not undoable. It needs planning, and it needs everyone's cooperation.
Yes, well, thank you very much,
finally, I think we must put an end to all kinds of religious activities, whether it is markas or anything else.
Yes, thank you very much, ma'am.
Or Ramnavami for that matter.
Yes. Thank you very much, ma'am, for your valuable time and for the key suggestions to fight this outbreak. Let's hope that the mankind will win this fight against the coronavirus. Thank you very much, ma'am. మొత్తం మీద మనం చూస్తున్నాం ప్రముఖ రచయిత సోషల్ యాక్టివిస్ట్ చందన చక్రవర్తి గారు చాలా స్పష్టంగా చెప్పారు. తప్పకుండా మనం విజయం సాధిస్తాం. సమిష్టిగా పోరాటం చేయాల్సిన అవసరం ఉంది. సామాజిక దూరాన్ని పాటించాలి. దీంతో పాటుగా ఎవరైతే పోరాటం చేస్తున్నారో వైద్యులు కావచ్చు, వైద్య రంగంలో పనిచేస్తున్న వాళ్ళు, పోలీస్ శాఖలో పనిచేస్తున్న వాళ్ళు, వారు అత్యంత జాగ్రత్తగా ఉండాల్సిన అవసరం ఉంది. వారిని కాపాడుకోవాల్సిన అవసరం ఉంది. వారికి ఇప్పటికే రాష్ట్ర ప్రభుత్వం ఆధ్వర్యంలో మనం చూస్తున్నాం పెద్ద ఎత్తున వారికి సంబంధించిన సంరక్షణ కోసం చర్యలు తీసుకుంటున్న సందర్భం కూడా మనం చూస్తున్నాం. రాష్ట్ర ప్రభుత్వం ముఖ్యమంత్రి కేసీఆర్ గారి సారథ్యంలో మైగ్రెంట్ లేబరర్స్ ఎవరైతే రాష్ట్ర అభివృద్ధిలో భాగస్వాములు అవుతున్నారో వారికి సంబంధించి వారి సంక్షేమం కోసం తీసుకుంటున్న చర్యలు కూడా చాలా బాగున్నాయి. మిగతా రాష్ట్రాలు కూడా వీటిని ఆదర్శంగా తీసుకోవాలని కూడా సూచిస్తున్నారు చందన చక్రవర్తి గారు. థ్యాంక్ యూ వెరీ మచ్ మేడం ఫర్ యువర్ వాల్యుబుల్ టైం. థ్యాంక్ యూ సో మచ్. ఇది చందన చక్రవర్తి గారితో స్పెషల్ ఇంటర్వ్యూ. నమస్తే.